Hey, what's up, everybody? PK80? It's a BT100.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah. Yeah, what's up, everybody? BT100.
It's a BT100. Yeah. Yeah, what's up, everybody?
No, it's crazy.
BT100.
Standard PK80. PK80, you're talking about a regular China doll? So yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to interact with you guys. I just having a hard time because of my brain injury today. So if I just kind of get this done, it's not that I'm not paying attention to you. I'm just really sorry. I get so sidetracked when I'm like this. But yeah, I just ball honed 800 grit. No, 600 grit. I'm sorry. The inside. Let's see if it can show you. So what happened was I took 6 millimeters off of the bottom of this. So loud, sorry. Alright, so I took 6 millimeters off of the bottom of this at the machine shop. This is a gasket that I handmade so I had a permanent steel gasket made, a spacer. This is 2 millimeter, and so what I do then is on each side of the yeah, I got it on backwards or not. Let's see. Yeah, it only goes one way if I can figure out which way. There it is. So yeah, it's like a press fit deal there, and then there's a gasket on the top and the bottom, handmade gasket, and that goes back in. So as you may know, Florida and whoever else, I'm not sure who's on, but so the BT100, what happens is even without the modification that I did to make this a race engine, it gets awful hot because of just the composite, and is really, you don't get enough release. And so as your motor is firing, when the stroke comes around, it fires, it pushes it down, the gas goes out. Every time you're journaling up and down in that section, the heat's being transferred as the exhaust is trying to escape. And you can see probably here, I'm not 100% sure, but this piston is like got lines all through it. I mean, it's just been pulverized. So I've been meaning to do this video for a while. It was requested, and I've just been really busy, and my phone is messed up. So yeah, but I'm not able to shoot a lot of stuff right now, so I'm sorry I haven't been on here to try to give you guys some tips. But I'm gonna go ahead and take the piston off of here. This actually can probably get honed one more time. I don't see a crosshatch in it yet. It's actually come out pretty good, though. It took about half of the burring out, and we could definitely save this cylinder and use it again. So, but I have the new piston here, and I'm gonna show you guys how to make oil holes. And that will stop it from ever cold seizing again, typically. And you can also use this on the Minarelli. the wider aluminum plate that a lot of people use for those builds. From what I understand, I don't have one, don't use it, but they heat up and then the steel doesn't expand as fast as the piston. The aluminum swells and then they want to stick. There's also a couple of ramps you can make. Typically I use a ramp on the intake side alone, not on the ports, but just on the intake side, and I can show you how to do that. I'm not going to do it on here. I do have another video somewhat showing modification. So you can see also on here probably that this piston we also brought that up too. We did opened the intake up a little bit with that, skirted that. So I don't know if I'll get to that with you guys in this, because I may not even do that for this setup, but I'm gonna show you guys how to stop the other problems. So if I see a question up, you know, feel free. Yeah, it's 50 millimeter, correct. And yeah, if I see any questions, I'll try to just keep checking, but you know, hang in there and just stick with me, and we'll try to get it done. So, and if anybody's talking on there, have at it, man. Hope you guys have a good conversation as usual, and yeah. So I'm actually, before I go any further, I'm just gonna redo this just so I can get this all clean, because I gotta set the new piston in there to mark it, and I'll show you how to do that, but I want to get it all cleaned out first. So this is Flex Home. Brush Research Manufacturing produces this. I got this off of eBay. This is a 600 and 800. Sometimes they're a little harder to come across. You have to wait a little while for them to be available, but you can readily get a 200 or 300. It's not that it's the grit, it's just in this size. This is either 48 or 49, and you can use the just a little bit bigger. It won't affect it. But so yeah, so with the 50 millimeter, it's all I have to do is just put a slight amount of pressure as I'm going in and out, and it's going to catch the cylinder and clean it. And you want to do about 3-4 good strokes up and down. You're trying to create a crosshatch, and what that does is it helps the piston in its travel. So let me get back to work, fellas. Yeah, I was trying to say is the that size, like the 47 or 48 mil, they don't make them as much. So if you see one, just grab it up. Yeah, I know all about it, Keegan. He doesn't know what to do. I was the one that gave him some pointers on it a while back. I've done this before, and the first time I did it, I screwed it up. I didn't put the hole in the right place, and I talked on the phone with Kirk Smollett, and he sent me a couple pictures and showed me what to do, and I made a video about it, but I ended up taking it down because I didn't even remember for whatever reason. But I'm gonna try to leave this one up for everybody. So let me see if I can get behind here for a minute and look at this so you guys, I can see what I'm showing you. So you can see these marks in here. This is actually what I was telling you, when it's going up and down and it's journaling. What's happening is this area gets double tapped. So as the heat's trying to escape, that's the spot that it's been hitting. It appears like there's a hole there, but it's actually the aluminum deposit. And I'm sorry here. So if I can, I'm not sure if you can see it, but yeah. So there was like a little pit there when it first started, and the aluminum is actually caught and stayed in there. And as I've cleaned this out, I'm not sure if you can see the crosshatch, but this is Nicosil in here. This isn't freeze coated one where they drop the nickel and nitrogen or whatever. So I just didn't go in far enough, but the bottom of this has a good crosshatch. It's nice and shiny. You can see up top maybe the piston up, like there's still some score marks where the piston was, the rings had picked up a vibration from that happening, and it's like kind of like a violent turbulence, and then it creates high spots, and then you get those little indentations. We're gonna go ahead and remove as much as we can without taking the full coating off, and then I'll show you guys after I get that done. Like I said, I'll show you, we'll set the piston here so we can mark it, and then I'll help you guys figure out how to drill it out. So I got this cleaned out pretty good. The reason I wiped it out is because I had it in the Dawn, and I don't want that to act on the grease, because I don't want to have to worry about cleaning that. Once you have it going with the grease, and then if you put the Dawn in there, it's going to screw everything up. So it should work. That's what I'm trying to say, is I don't have to redo my whole setup, because once you get like a little bit of a fine grit that's mixed in with the balls, it's actually good for it. So this is just on the red sticky tack Lucas. You guys have probably seen me use this before. Like I said, we're just gonna put this in, give it maybe 3-4 up and down pulls, and then that's all we got to do. So you pull the ball up and down about 3 or 4 passes. When you're doing a single piece, I mean an open head cylinder, you can go through it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you turn it over and you do it the other way. That way you're catching both ends. You're getting the top of it and you're getting the skirt. Otherwise, when you do it, you'll get only half of it done. So that's why I had to redo this again and just angle the ball grinder differently. I'm gonna take this and rinse it. I'll be right back. I want to put it under cold water because what will happen is all the grease is going to stick to itself and it's just going to come right out. So what I did when I ran it under cold water, I don't know if you guys can see up here in the corner with good definition, but right here in the transfer, the cold water, grease and water don't stick together. Oil and water separate, so it just gathered all right there. So there's one blob, basically two blobs, and then all I gotta do is wipe that out. There's nothing else in there. It's already all clean. Just the cold water does it alone. You can see in it, the front and the intake, on the exhaust. You got a little deposit on the side. Boom, that's done. It's clean. Just wipe it all out. I do a lot of carpentry work, construction work, do masonry work. So I go through socks. I usually only wear them 1 or 2 times. And I just wash them and I buy new ones. And I just keep all the old ones for working on the bikes because you're always getting your hands dirty or wiping grease off of something. So I got like a big bucket full of them. Nice ports. Nice work, thanks. Yeah, so I don't know if he actually even really did anything. Maybe he thought he did, but if he did this at all or anything close to it, it should have worked anyway. I mean, even if you had something in the transfers, it should have just blown out. If anything, it might have scored the piston a little bit, but I never heard of that before. I'm gonna grab another thing. I'll be right back. I'm doing now is just removing the rings carefully here. This is a 50 millimeter piston, and it has a 12 millimeter con rod, and I think it's 14 millimeter wrist pin bearing. So again, what we want to do is just place this so you can put this in without the bearing even. All I want to do is just put this new piston in just real quick to inspect it in here. Actually, kind of an unnecessary step. It's something I wanted to look at with the exhaust, but so I'll just push this all the way down in where it's going to be in the combustion chamber. I'll make some primary marks. Oh yeah, nice and tight. Really? There we go. So yeah, they're oval shaped too, by the way. Forgot to tell everybody that. Pistons are not really round. The top is round, the sides are smaller than the face. So here's our marks. This is the outside of the exhaust, and as you can see right here on the bottom, the lines there, that's gonna put me safe of the transfer ports. Get my magic marker. Yeah, I just have this handy dandy deal here. I use this to get my 25-degree angle when I'm doing some of my port work, my mapping. And just gonna take this and I'm gonna lay it so that the bottom of it is basically like is making the edge to the edge so I can draw a straight line. And just marking the tops of these. It's on my line, my starter line, and I can go all the way down. Okay, so now we have this marked out. Again, this is the exhaust. Just so we know we don't want to be anywhere near that, and we don't want to be into our transfers. We're going to take this again. I don't know if you guys can see. Hopefully you can see here. And I'm just going to use the inch line that's on here. And I'm going to mark it every so often. So I have roughly 1.25 inches to my rings. Almost an 1 3/8 inches, something like that. So I'm going to find the middle. Find the middle again. And then I'm going to come below that, half of that, roughly. And just a little high to the top. So you guys can see this now, hopefully. The little dots are where we're gonna drill our holes. Those are called oiler holes. This concept's used a lot in racing motors. They put them behind the rings. A lot of times on like a car vehicle, it can be anywhere because you don't have the openings. You're just in a closed cylinder. But this is where you have to do it, otherwise it'll drop compression and you won't be able to run the motor. I gotta get a Dremel set up and drill it out for you. This is a diamond sintered drill tip. It's just a tiny point pick that's coated in diamonds, and I'll use that to etch in and then drill the hole. Possibly I may have a 3/16 bit. It's just like 1 1/2 of a little bit bigger than an 1/8, but not really. Or under an 1/8, I'm sorry. One or the other. Said I'm having a hard time with my brain function today, so I do apologize. I'll show you another one that I have that's even smaller. And what I do with those after I've done my port work is I edge the side of the ports. That way the rings can't get snagged at all. Not that they would, but just an extra little thing that I do when I do port work for people. So I'm gonna go ahead and etch these, and I am gonna end up drilling it out. Basically what that does is just gives the drill bit a starting point so I'm not sliding down the piston and damaging it, hopefully. I'm gonna put just a little bit of grease on here for lubrication. Just going at a low speed. Hi, sweetie. Yeah, I need to take a break and eat, I know. Clean that tip out constantly, add a little more grease. Just lubricating that so it doesn't bind in there. How you doing, everybody? Not sure who's there, but thanks for joining in. Really appreciate your support. We're working on how to solve the dry sieze or cold sieze problem with motors. Almost there. Yeah. All right, cool beans. Yeah, my shirt a little dirty here, but fix that in the wash. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna clean the outside edge of these very lightly. We have 2 oiler holes on both sides, and I got a dimple up closer to the top. So, yep. Keep going. tighten that back up. Electric surgeon. Alright. Go to the ball now. No, come on, you. Should be going like way slower. Why is it acting up? Alright. Change of attack. Let's see here. I'll just use one of the center tip bits. Where are you at? There we go. Oh, that's a smaller shaft. Hey, little moth, what's up, buddy? Alright. Let's edge this out. Alright, cool. Well, basically that's the gist of it. I'm gonna be doing more work to this. I'm gonna do some ramp work on this, so I will definitely leave this on so you guys can see that too. But that's how to stop a cold Sieze or soft Sieze from happening on your single piece jug or a Minarelli build. Or any other single piece jug setup there, other setup that's got a high temperature with it. So this one here, what I'm gonna do is the press lines that come in on the piston. That should basically cover most of or about the size of the intake without putting it back in there. It's 33 millimeter on the BT100 instead of the 40 millimeter. So just from doing this a few times, so transferring my lines to the top of the piston. We have our marks at the top of the piston now. And I want to do the same thing on the front. And I'll show you why in a second. So now I have my marks here. And then I have my marks where I'm going to be making the ramp. It just gives me something to aim for so I can hold this as a rule. That's how big I want my ramp to be, and that's where I want it to end, the crown of the piston. As you can see, we put the oil holes on this, which is going to be the exhaust side, and this little stamp over here. This is actually with the BT100, it's not going to matter front or back on the rings, but we're going to use the stamp for the how much depth we want to go down into it. Typically that should be the other way, but it's not a big deal. And I need a little. I'm gonna cut my kerf in. Normally when I do this, I'm going to show you what I was talking about with the 25 degrees. You can see the blue mark up here. And it's on the bottom side, 20-30. That's in the middle. I use the top there. It's between it's at 155 basically. So let's see. I'm gonna come around the back side of this thing probably. So what we're doing is just kind of like an eyeball. We want to take the top of the piston, the edge, the crown, or not the crown, but the top of it, where the above the rings, the keeper, and we're lining up the degree angle, the compass, protractor wheel thing here, whatever it's called. Can't think of it at the moment because I'm having major brain issues today. But so I need to drop this down. I'm making a ramp. You can use like the first or second line on the ring, wherever you need to line it up so you can see. And I'm going to come to the top of the piston center, I can do this behind this thing. Alright, here we go. So roughly it shows me like where I'm headed with my ramp, so I can see how far down to go. I know I have this stamp here as well. Like I said, I can take at least that much material off without hurting anything, but just so you want to try to keep that at like a 25-degree angle if possible. Hey, what's up, bud? Obzilla, nice to see you. At work? Yeah, me too, buddy. Just got home. Doing this job now. So I don't know if you guys can see this here, but I've gone along the edge and I've tried to get my 25-degree angle set, and I can use that to go back up into that and see how much material I need to take out. Let me show you real quick. This bit that I'm using too already has kind of a tapered angle to it, so as I'm on the edge of the piston, it kind of is, if I'm sitting flat, it's going to kind of take what I want it to. Charlie Brown. Alright, change this again. We're gonna use this little guy, this Christmas tree shape here. Yeah, we're getting pretty close. So hopefully you guys can see that now. We just rounded the edges down into the ramp. We still have about 1 millimeter above the ring keeper, and we have our ramp coming up at roughly a 25-degree angle to center of the piston. Go up to a little higher RPM here. Just clean this edge real good. What we're doing by doing this is we're taking off just the tiniest little bit of material from the top, and that's also going to help reduce the swelling. And we still got plenty of meat underneath this. Yeah. Really? So as I'm doing this, even from just taking this off with this grinder against it, I can feel the heat it's generating. Really just raising the temperature up just doing this. It's not uncomfortable, but it's definitely very warm. Hello. Hey everybody, not sure who's there, but hello, thanks for watching. We are cleaning up a piston that we put some oil holes in for a BT100. Something you can do on, man, these horseflies. Something you can do for a Minarelli as well. Keep it from soft seizing or cold seizing. Forgot to cover this thing, so I got a bunch of metal flake in here, so we'll probably rinse that out with some gas here in a minute. I'm just looking for, here it is. It's a microfine 3M micro abraser. And kind of overkill. Just wanted to make this thing like super shiny. Wash it off real quick and then we'll see what we can do. Alright, what else did I need to do? Oh, we're gonna skirt it a little bit. Skirt the piston, skirt the skirt. Let's see here. I clean this all off too, so we got a good seal. Since we're gonna flush this anyway, might as well put something in there, just keep more stuff from going in it. Packed it all nice. Typically I recommend using some starting fluid and kerosene. Oddly enough, I seem to be in short supply of the two of those at the moment. Give this guy a good little bath. Oh, I cut some gaskets, bolt this thing up. Thanks for watching, everybody. Godspeed, friends. Godspeed, friends.